When I tell y'all our country said no, man, look, check it out. Our country even released a fucking statement, bro. Check it out. Our country did a explanation. Now look, this is on, USUN, US UN, the USmission.gov. All right, this is a government website. Our country, they left a statement. All right, and this was their statement. Well, let me show y'all. All right, this is what it looked like. Okay, our country told them no, and they told them why. And I'm going to explain to you. It's so dope. Check it out. This also explains their relationship with them. Right? But now the explanation, this is the explanation for the vote for the UN resolution declaring the trafficking of enslaved Africans and racialized chattel enslavement of Americans, as Africans, as the gravest crime against humanity. Right? Now, you see that? This is by the United States mission to the United Nations, okay? Dated March 25th. This is brand fucking new. All right? The ambassador has written this. All right? Let's get it. It's been delivered as well, as you can see. They got the fucking message. Now, this is what the U.S. says, and I'm going to explain this to y'all. I have to read this first paragraph for y'all, okay? Or was it the first couple? Because there's some stuff I have to explain. Now, the U.S. says, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The United States remains steadfast in its opposition to condemnation of the historic wrongs that resulted from the transatlantic slave trade, the trans-Saharan slave trade, and all other forms of slavery. We remain committed to the acknowledgement that these are historical wrongs. Now, despite this, the United States observes that the text of this resolution remains highly problematic in countless respects. What they mean by that is we already got niggas fighting for reparations in our country. The last thing we need is you motherfuckers bothering us. That's basically what the fuck that means, okay? Now, consequently, the United States cannot support the adoption of this resolution. Now, they go on to say, we regret that the United States must once again, hold on, let me get it straight for y'all. We regret that the United States must once again remind this body of the United Nations exists to maintain international peace and security. That's their job. Their job is to maintain international peace and security, not fight for fucking reparations, okay? Now, the narrow specific interests and agendas to establish niche international days, because they be, y'all see how they be trying to celebrate Juneteenth and shit like that? That's basically what they're referring to. They be trying to tie our Juneteenth shit into all they shit so they can make money and shit. Sus gonna get into that in a second. But bottom line is, the white supremacists feel like they being extra, right? But bottom line is they say their job is not to create new costly meeting and reporting mandates. What they mean by that is y'all had all these motherfuckers show up to court today and people had to pay them because y'all know the U.S. carry the fucking UN. They pretty much are the fucking UN. They contribute the most damn money to the UN. So this shit costs money. When these people get together, that shit costs money. They got to fly from other countries and all this shit. Man, it costs a whole lot of money just to have this fucking meeting. And you fucking wasting time talking about reparations that your ass not supposed to get. That's basically what they talking about. Now, the ambassador goes on to say, this resolution does all three. So y'all pushing agendas. Y'all just being extra. Y'all breaking all the rules, basically. Now, this is the last paragraph I'm going to read from it, but it's the most important because it explains the relationship that they have with these fucking Africans. Now, I'm going to highlight the paragraph I'm reading, okay? I'm reading this one. Now, the United States has defined long-standing objections to the framing of reparatory justice and the duty of reparation for historical wrongs. While we acknowledge the horrors of the past, we do not accept this resolution's assertion that historical facts from the 15th through 19th centuries constitute violations of just cogence. Some people don't know what this word means. I'm going to break this down for you after I finish this paragraph. Always find out what words mean, family. I'm going to show you what this means in a second. Now, I'm going to read that again. All right? From the 15th through 19th centuries constitute violations of just cogence as that term is understood in contemporary international law. Remember the words in international law as we go forward. The United States also does not recognize a legal right, to reparations for historical wrongs that are not illegal, that were not illegal under international law at the time they occurred. So basically, they're telling them when they was doing business together, nigga, that shit they was doing was legal, and not only that, you was doing the dirt with us. So how the fuck you gonna double back and try to get money for slavery? So basically, they was partners in crime, and they had a deal. But guess what? Only the Africans have to honor the deal. The white supremacists get to do whatever the fuck they want. That's the crazy part. Ain't no honor amongst thieves. But listen, remember this term I was telling y'all about, just cogence? I'm going to show you what it means. Check it out. We're going to move on to the next one. Now, look. This explains their relationship with these people, okay? Don't ever let nobody tell you that you're a fucking African. Now, the function of just cogence in international law, okay? This is what it means. The clearest operation of the doctrine of just cogence in international law is set out in the Vienna Convention of the Law of Treaties. Family, y'all know how we always talking about how these people sign treaties with these people. Hey, tap the screen, get these likes up to 100K. Hey, sis, if you don't see them comments moving, turn them shits off. Anyway, a treaty is void if, at the time of its conclusion, it conflicts with a preemptory norm of general international law. The freedom of states to enter into treaties is thus limited by fundamental values of the international community, despite. Now, what that means is, first things first, this is an international problem, okay? We are the United States of America. They are in a whole different they're on a continent, bro, all right? This is not a domestic issue. So basically, when these people signed these treaties with these white supremacists, they gave away all of their rights to double back later on down the line and try to play victim, basically. That's basically what this means. Imagine it like this. We got two guys who in the streets. Both of them agree to be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But they go rob a bank or something. Now, they both criminals. Now, they both got the money. But one of them robbed the other one for all his money. And he took all the money type shit. He can't go to the police type shit. You get what I'm saying? You can't come back. You're not getting no refund. Listen, man, I grew up in the streets. It's one thing that happened. You're not getting no refund, bro. I don't care what happened. If you don't like it, nigga, that's too bad. That's basically what happened. These people got into a deal with these people. They willingly got in bed to do crime together. And basically the treaty that the white supremacists gave them says, hey, nigga, you can't double back and cry victim later and try to get money or sue me and shit. Wait, why do y'all think in court people get plea deals? These people do things with pen and paper. They basically gave them it was a plea back then and they didn't even know it. But that's how these white supremacists always worked. They always gave you an option and it was always with pen and paper. All right? So, with that being said, we don't have to worry about these people. They got into bed with these white supremacists and it bit them in the ass. And I want y'all to understand that all those countries that sold slaves, all of them had treaties with them. And this is one of the clauses. What you're looking at is a clause that's in all of their treaties. Okay? It's that simple. And like I said, if you're looking for any information like this, it's on repository.law.universityadmission.edu. Okay? So whenever they bring up, oh no, we don't fuck with the white man, bring up their treaties and bring up Just Kogan's. Okay? And international law. They can't get no fucking refund. It's that simple. These people got in the deal with these people, and now they gotta lay down with their snakes. It's that simple. But another thing, y'all don't gotta worry about these people, because they can't get claim to our reparations. Like I said, we are written into the Constitution. It's a domestic issue, so we could get reparations. You feel me? But they can't. Speaking of reparations, bro, they got the UN out there. They got all these damn people out there, and they still can't get reparations. Meanwhile, check it out. Seriously. In my hometown of Chicago, guess what? This is what's going on in Illinois, all right? Illinois City hands out $25,000 cash payments to 44 black residents through reparations program. Look, this was just last month. This was February 10th. I think I talked about it when it happened, and we had touched on it. It's only 40-something million of us, and we getting our money for reparations little by little. We gonna get this shit. You feel me? Because this is our country. We were enslaved here. Why do y'all think the Africans mad? Oh man, we can't get reparations. No, y'all not in this shit. We even got the Africans who live here trying to get our fucking reparations too. These people think they get a claim to our fucking reparations. No, you don't get reparations, motherfucker. The fuck? You can go to the UN. I don't give a fuck who you go to. You're not going to get a dime from our country. If anybody's going to be getting reparations, it's going to be us. Foundational black Americans, not you. The fuck? We ain't giving y'all ass nothing. And I'm just glad that our country told them no. Real talk. Ink, how you feel about our country turning them down for this, though?
Oh my God, the movie title is crazy, but I'm excited because to the person who keep asking the same question over and over in the comments, talking about, will this hinder us from being able to our claim to reparations? No, that's the whole point. They letting them know that they signed a treaty. We didn't sign no treaty. For whatever family members and ancestors that we did have that endured slavery and Jim Crow, we will never, that's something that they do have to pay restitution for. They did actively harm our people on our soil. They eminent domain. They took our land. They reclassified us. They have to pay for that. If you look in law, even every infraction that's ever occurred on this soil toward any other group of people, they were paid reparations. Why would we be any different? First of all, we are the ones that they owe over everybody. The Japanese should have never got it. The Siberian Huskies, they should have never got it before we did. No one should have got it. The small hat shouldn't have got it before we did. But they did, so they're going to have to pay more, and they already know this. But now they just getting out the way, all the other people who feel like they can claim it. And that just shows how unintelligent these Africans really are. Because why would y'all not go back and look at y'all treaties that y'all know y'all signed? You can't be that dense to think that you was going to forget about what your ancestors did before you got here. Why wouldn't all these doctors and lawyers that they come over here, none of them, you mean to tell me none of them looked back at this treaty and was like, oh, you know what? We signed these papers, man. We can't go after these people money. They felt like what? Nobody was going to look back. You don't think white people had 1,000 lawyers on hand that was going to look back and be like, nope, we did this together. That's what the white people are known for. Signing treaties, doubling back on them, and doing you in. This is why I am so glad that this is happening to them. I can't wait till more stuff start happening to them because I don't care anymore. They showed their hand, they lied to us, they smiled in our face and was acting like we got the same enemy, nigga. No, we don't. No, you're the enemy too. That's what they don't like. everybody finding out that they was part of it just as much, a biggest part of it. I know we look at white people like they the colonizers, but Africans were too, and they were worse. They orchestrated a lot of this. White people they were just a lot more smarter than they were. That's what we're figuring out.
You know what's crazy? I wouldn't even say they were smarter. I'll just say they were sneakier.
No, they were smarter than them. They tricked them out.
They snaked them.
They
yeah, to a degree.
Yeah, the middle child tricked the baby. It was like, yeah, you do all the dirty work and we'll both take the fall. Psych.
Yep.
The white person decided they was gonna hide their hand and be like, see, we didn't do all of that.
Yep, that shit crazy. Yep. So, like I said, family, whenever they try to bring up, the white man, y'all remember, y'all bring up the function of the Just Cogens clause in international law. That right there voids anything they saying. The white man not the problem. Y'all people literally signed treaties with these people. And you know the crazy thing? All those countries have those treaties somewhere sitting. Because people are gonna draw. If you got a treaty, you have to keep it fucking up. That's proof that you have the treaty. So trust me, they have those treaties laying around somewhere because they always go back to them and refer to them when they try to make claims about reparations and all this other shit. Nigga, we signed here. I know, but we didn't. Okay, it says this, but we didn't know what that meant back then, nigga. Too fucking bad. You shouldn't have signed it, Baba Tunde. Fuck you talking about? Fuck, it ain't they fault you signed it. Fuck, they gave your ass that work. That's not our problem. But family, let me address some of y'all because I just want to explain kind of what happened at the UN meeting. For the company to follow your ass around and make you look huge, man. Anyway, what didn't mean shit. I'll just break it down real quick what it means, okay? Now, we're gonna reset and set it and just break it all the way down real quick. First of all, a motion got passed, okay? Y'all know I'm familiar with the court system. Just because a motion get passed doesn't mean it's gonna get granted, okay? Only two things happen with motions. It gets granted or it gets denied. If it gets granted, it moves on to the next step. Guess what the next step in this is, family? Talking. The next step is not money. Trust me. It's not about that. But I'll break it down to you, okay? There was no single motion passed by the UN that guaranteed reparations today. That's what did not happen. This motion was not for reparations. This was not for guaranteeing reparations, okay? This is what's actually going on. Countries like Ghana, along with other Caribbean nations and groups like CARICOM, they want formal discussions on reparations. Nations and nation, okay? Debt relief for places like Haiti. Think about it. Debt relief. They put their ass in all that debt, borrowing all that money because they had to pay the French back. You know what I mean? So they feel like they should get reparatory justice for that. Reparative justice, excuse me. And they think, you know how like their country's already stabilized? That's also part of it, right? So their reparations claim is kind of different from ours. They cannot, a lot of them can't ask for, reparations for actual slavery because they were enslaving. So they go the other route. Oh, nigga, you destabilize my homeland. You understand? And they think that were literally enslaved, that like belong to enslaved people. How can y'all stand next to some Africans who trying to actively take your reparations? Like y'all know they gonna fuck y'all. I be thinking like, are y'all even smart? Why the fuck would you have the motherfuckers who sold you sitting here right next to you doing everything that you got going on, just leeching off you too? That's because they got the Caribbeans tricked thinking that they African too. Well, a whole lot of them aren't. Well, I wouldn't say African. They turned into something different. But more slaves went to their country, so maybe they have more of an affinity for these people. We don't. You feel what I'm saying? Our people used to, but we waking up to that shit. But my thing is, y'all got CARICOM doing all this shit and all these other countries coming together. And, like, it's 2026. Y'all don't get it yet? When the fuck y'all gonna wake up and realize that they not for you either? But the Caribbeans, that's y'all fucking problem. Y'all can stay in bed with their ass if you want to. But when they bite your ass, like the snakes that they are, don't come to us fucking running. We don't want to hear that shit. But anyway, with that being said, these ain't nothing but talks and debates and declarations, panels, and proposals. Right? None of this is legally binding. No money has been approved. No country has been forced to pay anything. So when I tell y'all we ain't got shit to worry about, we ain't got shit to worry about. These people ain't got no motherfucking power. Okay? They got all these countries together and they still can't get no fucking reparations. Meanwhile, we got 40-some million, 50-some million motherfuckers here and we getting reparations right now. The fuck? We the motherfuckers that get shit done, not y'all. But anyway, this is really about two main things. The transatlantic slave trade and European colonialism in Africa and the Caribbean. Okay? Countries be arguing that wealth was extracted from their region. Y'all actively let these white people come over there and set up multinational corporations in y'all countries. And y'all let them get the larger end of the business deal. Y'all love taking the crumbs. As long as y'all can line y'all own pockets, y'all don't care if y'all people get anything. That's not nobody's problem but y'all now. I'm tired of Africans and Caribbeans playing victims. Like real talk, real talk. So somebody asked me what's next? What's next? Somebody in the comments are like, what's happened next? What happens next? So what happens next is more international pressure. They're gonna keep trying to push this shit because the little motion got granted. So you're not gonna hear nothing but them trying to negotiate. They're gonna try to keep pushing to get paid. Okay? They're gonna try to get former colonial powers to agree to some form of reparations. But guess what? You won't be talking to the United States about that shit. And if you do, we're gonna tell your ass no again, the same way we just told you no last time. And they brought up the just Cogan's clause. See, that's the thing about thieves. They always remind you of the deal that you made. So think about it. If somebody's a thief, and let's say somebody break the little contract, they break the code, and then thieves fall out. The thieves fell out because you broke the code. You tried to go back on the deal, and you entered into the deal. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do that. So expect America to tell them no again if they try to push for more money. It's just that simple, family. That's why I say we really don't got shit to talk about. They just fucking making noise, bro. But we can go into deeper context and into the deal. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
New did not exist in your. It's not a diaspora holiday. That's why it pisses me off so much, because it plays into the whole thing where all of these melanated people feel like they could start claiming it like they did last year, which was annoying as hell. Everybody bringing flags, throwing Juneteenth celebrations. Y'all didn't even know about Juneteenth prior to becoming an international or a national holiday, not even international, because it has nothing to do with anybody else. If you didn't have any ties to Texas or the South, you probably didn't even know Juneteenth existed. And I know this because I lived in Chicago all my life, but my mama's a Texan. And I know a lot of people who did not know about Juneteenth, because most of those people didn't have family members who had to deal with the celebration. So it wasn't nothing going on. It's just weird to me. I'm finna show y'all these people, man. First of all, I would not pay $4,000 to go to Ghana. Like, this seems like another one of those, what was they doing? The little festival they was doing? Where they was trying to make us come back to Ghana, but somehow people had to end up paying for it.
You talking about the year of return?
Yes, this is the same thing, because it's basically a return back home, but they're using Juneteenth as a return. Now, why the hell would y'all use Juneteenth as a return? I bet you a lot of them don't even know what Juneteenth stands for and why we celebrate it. But I'm finna show y'all how stupid this stuff looks. And it don't even make sense, because Juneteenth is not September 14th. It's like they tying it into multiple different things. They talking about 4K with no toilets. It's just ridiculous. And they calling it Return to the Motherland. Like, what type of disrespectful shit is this? Man, what the hell? You can visit the Slave River. You can ride horses with Africans pulling the horse. Man, I don't want to do that. It's just a bunch of, let me get the whole entire thing, because it's a bunch of articles where they just ridiculous with it. And of course, we got our own people that are helping them do it, because the lady who, Dr. Hakeem, is Black American, but she's a Pan-Africanist. And you know, they're one of the biggest threats to our people. Okay, here we go. That is a lot of money just to go see them. And it make me mad too, because she from Chicago too, man. What the hell?
Mm-hmm. And I found out where they office at too.
Yep, I did too. And that makes me real mad, because I'm like, damn, not the city doing this. Come on, man.
Yep.
And look what's not included. So I want y'all to understand, it's a lot of stuff that's not included. But look at this. Y'all, your yellow fever jab is not included. Y'all got to take the malaria jab. That's not included. Your meals are not included. So on top of you paying $4,350, you're going to have to buy your food. You're going to have to buy the bush meat that's over there. Come on. Is it worth it? For real? This is the plane y'all going to arrive in on. They trying to give you a little whatever.
Talk about some freedom and justice. Fuck out of here.
Mind you, this is 1957.
Ghana became a place in 1957.
My grandma was already here. Wow, you can see a waterfall. You can go to Niagara Falls if you want to see a waterfall. We have so many waterfalls here, man. Nobody want to go and see this. See these people do all of this. You walk a little bridge and stuff like these are not our people. Wow. I mean, like, this ain't something I want to see. Like the slave castle.
That's Cape Coastal Castle. Yeah, let us see that a little bit. Y'all see them cannons? Yeah, you see that they had cannons just in case somebody tried to come take their fort over. You know, the white supremacists was always taking each other's shit. All fighting over slaves and money. Right.
These are the stuff they want us to see. And these people want to, it's another one of the organizers. This is Crystal Dyer in Chicago who's setting this up. But this all feel like a scam since they've been told no. Hold on. They want to take whatever they can, because the United States ain't going to give them nothing. Let me see. Here it goes. Talking about Oh, and they got a, they call it like the African Juneteenth, the African American Association of Ghana, Triple AG. That's what they call it. Kind of like the NAACP. You see how unoriginal these people are?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Wow.
The African American Association of Ghana. That's crazy.
And then they having like their annual Juneteenth festival on June 21st. First of all, Juneteenth is not June 21st. And you remember how I told y'all yesterday how W.B. Du Bois' body is buried in Ghana? They use his likeness and his image to do all of this extra stuff, which is why I say Pan-Africanism is such a huge op to the Black community, because when our celebrities and our icons do stuff like this, it gives them leverage to start claiming our history and our culture. It's annoying as hell. Because W.B. Du Bois, first of all, he did not look like them, and he knew he was not them. He also had more indigenous than he did anything else. He knew he was not these people, but he was connected to the folks that he wanted to be in. He was Boule too. So they made him do these things. And what's even crazier is that he was into it with Marcus Garvey. So why would you then go and practice his ideology and you into it with him? This pisses me off, because why are y'all flying a Juneteenth flag and this has nothing to do with Ghana? This is why gatekeeping matters. These people have no right to our history. They shouldn't even be claiming Juneteenth. Look at their little army fatigue. Like this. Oh, my God. Oh, and this lady got a dashiki purse. The hell?
Damn, not the dashiki purse. And she looked like Spike Lee, too. They so damn, oh my God. Hey, they just so lost. This me up. Look how lost they are.
Man. This doesn't even look right. I know these people mad as hell because, like, this not even their history. I'd be mad.
Bro, they look so lost. It's ridiculous. And I'm being nice saying lost. Hey, get the likes up to 100K, y'all. Keep tapping. Keep tapping, y'all.
And they talking about this support was not symbolic, but strategic and intentional. We know it's intentional, rooted in our belief that reconnecting with the diaspora is vital to Ghana's social and economic transformation. Like, what the hell?
You see that? They said it's important for Ghana's.
Yes.
They don't care about what's important to us.
Wild. But yeah, this is so y'all can be on the lookout. Please do not go spend $4,500 to hang in Ghana. Please don't do it. Like, yeah, it's not worth it. You can that $4,500 can be used for a lot more things that's going on in this country and what y'all want to do. If you want to go on vacation, go on a doggone cruise or something. Hell, do the Caribbean cruise. At least you will be right here in North America, and you can go right back to Florida. But I would never do this.
And you know the crazy thing is, it's going to be people that actually pay for that shit, too.
Because it's already folks gearing up. And you know, I know, shit, one thing about Chicago is we definitely go getters in the city. And once we set our mind to do something, people going to do it. And because who she is, people going to back her anyways. And it kind of pissed me off. It should have been somebody else's city. It shouldn't have been this one.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But, you know, honestly, we got their number. Our country told them no. So they can keep trying to do all this stuff they want. They not going to get no reparations money. If anything, they actually owe us money for reparations. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Real talk. And they need to run that money. Real talk.
You know,
because they owe us.
What's crazy, in the article, there's a Ghanaian lady, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm not going to even try, but she says she was like, because she's like, they support reparations for all melanated people because it was promised by Abraham Lincoln. No, it was not. It was literally not promised to any of them. Like, you see how they try to twist our history and apply it to all of them? Yeah. They made mention of the 40 acres and a mule. I hope y'all know this, man. That pissed me off.
Yep. What they say about the 40 acres and a mule?
That's what they were promised. Our ancestors were promised 40 acres and a mule, and that's the compensation that we still haven't received to this day. Not y'all. Only us. But you see how they learn. That's what I mean about gatekeeping our history and our information, because mind you, these are the same people who did not know what 30 Acres and a Mule was when Kendrick Lamar was doing the Super Bowl. Everybody was asking questions. I will not forget last year. They was like, what does that mean? Even YT people was confused about 40 Acres and a Mule because they didn't even know. So now that they got this new history and this new update and they love software, now they trying to run with it. This is why we got to stop telling them certain things.
Yeah. What's up, Auntie CC? You there?
Hey, how y'all doing, niece and nephew? Y'all doing
How we
okay?
doing? Yeah, we doing good. How you feeling tonight?
I feel a whole lot better. I missed y'all last night. I really wanted to come on, but it was
It's all
rough.
good.
I had a
It's
rough
all
night
good.
yesterday because it got real
all
cold
good.
here all of a sudden. It was like 80 degrees the day before, and then it dropped down to like 50, and that didn't work out for me too well. But anyway, I'm feeling a lot better.
Okay. So, okay, hold on one second. To
Okay.
everybody, I'm glad you're feeling better. Just let me address the audience. Everybody keep tapping the screen, get the likes up to 100K. We was a little late, but we here now. The news segment is over. We're getting into the main topic. To everybody on the panel, we're going to get to you in 1 second, especially my guy down in the bottom right. I can't wait to talk to you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the panel. We're going to let everybody answer the prompt. And then when y'all come up here, make sure y'all background's quiet. And please don't be eating while we talking. Try not to have no background noise, especially if you're new to the panel. Y'all don't know how it go. Another thing, do not turn on your camera unless you ask if you wanted to option. And if we don't know, you never spoke to you before, keep your camera off. You'll get dropped immediately. Try not to interrupt people too. That'll get you dropped too. It's annoying. Nobody want to hear people interrupting each other all day. But with that said, keep tapping the screen, y'all. Repost out the live. Grab your daily heart if you have not done so. It's 100-something people here. We should out for us, okay? Keep tapping the screen. Give the panel. Welcome, y'all. Auntie Cece, do you think that Africans owe FBA's reparations for slavery, especially the Ghanaians? You give us your take on that, and then we'll move to the next person.
Well, I say no. But they need to pay for, no, they're going to get paid for that trick that they pulled today by laying that reef on and how you going to ask for reparations when you're still kidnapping children and selling them to the A-Rate card? I mean, they still doing that today. And they taught YT everything that they know as far as the slave trade is concerned. So make it make sense. You up there asking for something that you're still doing. I don't get it. And another thing too, that the year of return, they made money, but the government squandered it and didn't take it to rebuild their land. And now they looking for somebody to give them a freaking handout to build up their country. Why don't they just bring everybody back or send everybody back and let them rebuild? Why does everybody got to do their job when you got people sitting on their ass all day and not even working? I don't understand that. But anyway, it's just a big fat mess, and they just need to get away from us and just leave us alone.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Just leave us alone. That's all we asking for. Look, let us go about our way, and you go about your way. Keep our name out your mouth, and we'll do the same. Just stay out our way. Just stay in your lane. What's up, Wolfie? How you doing? Right on time. You there, sis?
Oh, I was requesting, but it wouldn't let me request. I had to leave way out the app. Excuse me. I was requesting up earlier. It just wouldn't let me.
It's all good.
How y'all doing?
Sometimes, we good. Sometimes the app be tweaking. Sometimes you gotta leave out, come back.
That's what I did. I was like, dang, it's still taking them a long time to see me. I kept pushing requests, but it wouldn't go through. So I left out the app and came back in. When I started seeing everybody come up. How y'all doing tonight? So
good. How you feeling, sis?
Good. Do Africa owe FBA reparation? Yes, in that meeting, when you heard the Africans speak, and they lied about the years, they lied about so many things. One thing they said, let's teach and keep it to the facts. Let's bring out the facts. And the fact is, they've been enslaving their people for thousands of years. Them castles was built before the Portuguese came over there and made it into stone. They didn't have 3 separate colonizers. And the UK, the British didn't fully colonize them until 1901. And I learned that today by Blue. The thing that when I look at this, I don't see no Black Americans standing behind this man. While they constantly try to tell our history. I am so sick and tired of foreigners, people we don't know, telling our history and trying to gain a dollar behind our trauma. We have never in life asked Ghana to speak up for us. Again, we are the people. They're not. We are the people have never asked Ghana to speak up for us. We have never asked any of these African countries to speak for our reparation. And when they spoke, they didn't tell about how they participated in selling other people, even though it was well documented. If you look into their jello rice, it has tomatoes in it, knowing that that is a part of the transatlantic slave trade. But if you look deeper into it, these people want to take away trade. They don't want you to have trade in the transatlantic trade slave. They want to take away their part of what they done in the world and make it seem like the Europeans. When you heard that man state that the Europeans built those castles, you must ask why lie. Those castles was built way before the 1500s. They had slavery way before the 1500s. They had slavery way after we was emancipated. They kept selling their people decades after 1901. We was emancipated.
And your plane.
Don't get dropped. Thank you.
Yep. Shit, his plane just landed. Go ahead, sis.
I don't see what's triggering these people about facts. But I land. Hey, Professor.
Hey, Red. Hey, Wolfie. Hey, Red. What's going on?
What's up, Professor?
Hey, what's up, family? How you doing? Prime time. It's on you now.
Oh, what's up? How the family doing?
We good.
I mean, I'm back in with Wolf. I don't get why they keep on trying to include us into their fight for reparation. We never asked y'all to speak for us, nor do we want y'all to speak for us. And for you to have the audacity to come over here to America, go to where our people is buried, and then try to take items and their bodies back on, that's hella disrespectful. We talk a lot of shit about the Africans, right? How y'all disrespectful, how y'all don't treat Black Americans well. But today, y'all did something that even I didn't respect. So I'm this flabbergasted, appalled, stunned, whatever name you want to put on it. But I'm this highly disappointed. They should never have done that. That's doing too much for me. We always say it's up and it's stuck. So now it's really up and stuck. I want all y'all gone. And that's it. That's all.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Deport all of them. Professor Alan, what's up, brother? Oh, unmute. There you go.
Talking to myself. Oh man, where do I begin? I teach a political science, two sections of political science, and I brought the Ghana thing up today in class. And I actually showed, I I featured, Love Jones. She had a really good section. And one of my brightest students was like, he said, so let me get this straight. Ghana wants money from the U.S. for selling their own people. Oh man. But back to your point of them being complicit in the slave trade. As y'all know, some of you know, I lived in Ghana and I helped them build a school and a library, and the physicians I was with helped them build a hospital, which they were ungrateful for. But I wanted to show y'all something. Hold on one second, and y'all tell me were they complicit or not.
Okay.
I got let's see. Oh shit, I hit the wrong button. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Let me find that picture. Here it is. So y'all tell me if you look. Let me get myself out the picture. If you look, that's Elmina I'm standing at right there, and up the hill is Cape Coast. Notice the houses around. There's like a huge neighborhood surrounding them castles, and a lot of those buildings are very old. So what that let me know right away is there were neighborhoods of Africans around that just let slavery go on. You know what I'm saying? So they was completely complicit in that slave trade, you know what I'm saying? And didn't fight the Europeans. In fact, Dr. Chancellor Williams lets us know that they needed Africans to help them because they didn't have immunities to malaria and other diseases. So this is their baby. They want money, basically red, because they were too dumb to work out a deal that would get them money. They sold slaves for sweet biscuits, for a toot off the tobacco pipe, they call it the peat, for beads, and as Wani Spots puts it, broken mirrors. So they made some bullshit deals that they got bonked on, and now they want some money, so they're coming at us for it. What we need to do is organize some type of protest for across the country for Juneteenth to make sure we don't see any damn Ghanaian flags, Kenyan flags, Nigerian flags at our Juneteenth celebration, because I'm taking that as a sign of disrespect and offense. Last thing I want to say, Red, is I put a video in that explains it well, but I looked at the African burial ground, the quote unquote African burial ground in New York, and it has a sign on it that looked familiar from my time in Ghana, and the sign is an Adinkra. I was like, wait a minute, it's an Adinkra on this. I gag at saying African burial ground, but there's an Adinkra sign there, symbol. And I looked it up, and it says, go back and get it. That's what it means. And I'm like, what are they going back to get? Our ancestors buried in New York are not African. So are they trying to cast some type of spell on us? You know what I'm saying? They need to stay out of our business. The slave trade, according to Dr. Claude Anderson, was orchestrated by African tribal chiefs in Gold Coast, which turned into Ghana. According to Professor Norm Combs and Dr. Claude Anderson, the African tribal chiefs begged the Arabs. They begged them to get involved with the slave trade, but the Arabs didn't want to do it, not because the Arabs were nice, they were savages. And well, I'm gonna leave that alone. Are they still savages? That's y'all make that opinion. But the Arabs didn't want to get involved with it because they didn't see any money being made from it. But once the Arabs saw they could make money off of it, they got into it and accelerated it. White tees were late to the game. My point even saying that is African tribal chiefs are the initiators, the starters, and the founders of the slave trade. They need to be paying us some money. Let me get in Congress, and Ghana gonna be giving me something. They gonna give us some gold, some chocolate, whatever they got, I'll take it. But they ain't getting shit from me. You understand?
Real talk. And they're not getting nothing from our country either. I'm glad that the U.S. told them no. Israel told them no. I'm glad Argentina told them no. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting a dime. Plus, this is us with FBAs. Reparations is a domestic issue. Okay, reparations is tied to the descendants of United States chattel slavery, not people from different countries and continents and things like that. That they got to deal with international law. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason why I keep telling the family we don't even got to worry about them trying to, lay claim to our reparations, because they can't. They're not going to get a penny. But them claiming our ancestors, that's just as egregious. But I also, that video you talking about, I actually reposted it earlier, and I'm gonna play it when we get done talking because people do need to see it. But go ahead, brother.
Oh, one more thing. Since we talking about
Sure.
the filth of Ghana at Elmina Castle. Now, by the way, Black Americans, you should know that we didn't come from Elmina Castle. Elmina Castle, the castle I was standing at, and the one you see in the background right now, was the biggest slave castle on Cape Coast. That contained African slaves who exclusively went to the Caribbean, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and the like. But behind me, and you had that in your video, but I want to give it some context. That building right there, the Ghanaians created the concept of solitary confinement, which is still used at prisons across the United States. They created it for African male slaves who would break free to try to save female slaves. Why? There's a courtyard. The western side where the women were segregated, the eastern side, the men were segregated, but they could look out windows just like jail. And every morning, the governor would grape a young lady in front of everybody to sow division and to create a mulatto child to be sold at a higher premium to kind of sow division on the colonies. You know, you're light skinned, you got whatever good hair is, you got that. So you're better than them, that type of thing. Well, when the men would break loose to try to save the girl who's getting raped in front of them, they created that room you're looking at. That room has no windows, only one entrance and exit. Those are scratch marks on the wall inside of there. That wall is concrete. They tried to scratch their way out of there. That's how insane they went. You know what I'm saying? I saw, you lie. Why do you lie, Professor? I made those pictures up, dummy. I made up those scratch marks with AI, run it through AI, see if it ain't real.
Professor, can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
When you showed that picture by you standing in the castles, those cannonballs, that wasn't turned to the ocean. Was it turned to the people?
That's a good question. I never thought about that. Let's see. That's a really good question. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, some were pointed towards land, but there were some pointed towards the ocean, but that one's pointed towards land. I never noticed that. That's crazy. And to the probably the African who said, I lie. Let's tell a little bit more truth and shame the devil. You see, I look pregnant with my that Ralph Lauren jacket I got on. That's a camera. That's a $5,000 camera I use with the university to take pictures for evidence of the papers I write. And I had to hide it because they tried to charge me again. They charged us all once to go into there. Why are you charging us to go into a slave castle that we were allegedly sold from? That tells you what type of people you're dealing with right there. I used to work at the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian is free to the world. Why in the F are you charging me to go to a slave dungeon? Well, guess what? They tried to charge your boy twice at a different rate because they said, you have nice camera. You press get different price. These people are filthy. We need to get away from them.
They will do anything to charge us more money.
Yeah. And this they mall.
They know we Black Americans. Yep. So they always try to charge us more money. Go ahead, brother.
Look at that balling ass mall right there. We ain't got nothing in common with ancestors. They want to talk about how you look. Who look better, FBA women or African women? Look at them baddies around.
FBA women got them all day, every day.
Yeah. All they women look broke.
It's not even close.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I had read. Yeah.
For sure. Now, I want to play the video that the professor was talking about that symbol that he's talking about. He made a video about it, and I think it goes well with the conversation. So I'm going to play it real fast, and then we'll move on to the next person. Now, as he was saying, he saw a symbol, and name of this video is Ghanaian Destiny Swap, Part 2.
I found out what that Ghanaian symbol meant. The quote-unquote African burial ground in Manhattan, New York has a Ghanaian symbol. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an Adinkra symbol, and it has meaning. It is Sankofa Dwa. Sankofa means go back and get it. Go back and get what? Is Ghana going back to try to steal our identity?
Now look, where do they use this symbol at?
Well, that's a good question. This symbol, they have something called Adinkra symbols. Now, they'll lie to you and tell you it's a language. It's not. Adinkra symbols are symbols that embody an idea. Some people say that they have some type of magical meaning. To be honest with you, Red, I haven't got a clear explanation, even though I educated on them. They say that they just mean their way of communicating with people ideas. Like one means, now this is the interesting part. I wish you could, I had a picture of Sankofa. I do. I got a Sankofa in my house I got from Africa. If you look at so y'all observe that Sankofa sign. No Sankofas, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said Destiny Swap. I wasn't just talking. I'm like,
oh.
Mm-hmm. Let me show you what Sankofa looks like. So what the hell does that mean? I mean, it's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. It looks like they're trying to kind of connect with us. And my theory, it's just a theory, is they're connecting with us to steal something that we got. This is like witchcraft.
I'm finna show you.
Uh-oh. Come on with it. And that we got. Come on with it. But to answer your question, Red, I don't know. To answer your question, Red, I have no clue what that stuff really means. I heard a professor say that it's code, like, and you're a computer programmer, so you understand this better than me. But a professor said it's ancient lines of code to manipulate reality. You know, like binary code. And I don't believe Adinkras come from Ghana. I think they were taken from somewhere else. But it's code to kind of communicate with the universe, and that kind of went over my head. But on a spiritual level, it sounds like a spell to me.
Yeah, it does. It definitely seems to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, and I think that's why they're using reefs and all that kind of stuff, because Sis Inc. was telling us that the portals is some type of you gotta explain the portal thing one more time, Sis, when you get a chance, because I know you were saying something about the portals.
A reef is a portal.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like CERN. It's a portal. It opens up the doors to other dimensions. But look, this is the same sigil that y'all seen. It's just, you know, they do it differently. You see how that little upside down? But you want to see whose sigil this is?
Whose sigil is that?
That's a sigil of Lucifer. That's what it is. That's why I told y'all these people be doing spells like they've been doing it for years. There's different demons that they call upon, and they put the sigils, and that opens that. They need the reef to open the portal so that these different deities and these beings can come out. But that's the purpose of it. That's what I told y'all what it is. And look, they got names on them. They show you who they are. Baal, all of those people. These are Aman. These are fallen angels. These are things that they know that they're opening the doors to, and they doing it on purpose. Like if y'all see these things, and even in people's signs, like you will see celebrities who will do this, and they'll have these things up, and you will be thinking, "Oh, this they new symbol." Like even Prince did it. No, these are sigils. They calling on these different entities, and they putting them out there. See how Lucifer's symbol is right here? They just added a heart, and they added the little swirls and stuff. They know exactly what they're doing. They've been doing it for years.
Can I take that?
They're calling them their. Go ahead.
May I take that a step further? When you're looking at an inverted star, if you look at the one that says Satan on it, like I've said before, from studying ancient history, evil forces don't have anything to work with because God created everything. Some people refer to God as the all. All they can do is reverse. Everything's in reverse. So a star upwards represents really the human body. If you hold your arms out, if y'all think of the Leonardo da Vinci, the person holding his arms out, the tip of the star is your head. But on a spiritual level, and with that star in its natural form standing up with the pointed top, that represents something. It represents spiritual principles. So the top is spiritual principles, and the bottom is earthly principles. Like the bottom is earth and water. And what that really boils down to is the way in its natural form. It's supposed to mean you're supposed to keep spiritual principles above material things, which is what we've been taught in church all our life, right? When you invert that star, you're saying earthly possessions over spiritual possessions. Now, how that fits into the thing that the video I made that Brother Red showed us, they're saying, I'm getting that they're saying they want our shit. We want your earthly possessions.
Yes, they do. Hey, look, like even in the music, y'all remember that song, that Amadeus song? My mama she could not stand whenever we would repeat it because it's like a chant. That's his sigil right there. Like the whole time we didn't know, we was just chanting and inviting little demonic beings, and we just keep singing it. But these people know exactly what they doing. And if they get us to do it and sing it, or they have something of ours to do it or attach it to, they become more powerful. They know what they doing.
Wow.
Man, signs and symbols. That's part of it. That's crazy that you peeped out that sign too, Dr. Alon. We do got to pay attention to the signs and symbols because those things do have meanings. Pay words too. Yeah. And not only did these people lay reefs, but they was also saying things too. You know what I'm saying?
It's a relation, Brother Red. When I was in uniform, that's what I did with the Total Force community. I was aerospace education officer, but basically what I did when the duty assignment I chose, they kind of said relations. I got thrown in that. That's kind of how I know how to make videos is from public relations. But anyway, my first duty assignment as aerospace education officer, I made drones with my cadets. They sent me to school to learn how to program. They taught me Python. That's a language I'm familiar with. And so I don't have a degree. But I don't have a degree in. You can't hear me. Y'all can't hear me?
TikTok just glitched or something. That's all.
Weird. I'm saying something real deep. That's why it was interesting to me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you repeat that part? I'm sorry. It was going in and out.
Yeah. I don't have a degree in computer science. I have a certificate in computer science. I got a certificate.
It was going
computer science. I got a certificate from Rutgers and one from Cornell. But anyway, enough to sign. But in red is I know enough to program drones and robots how to do stuff using Python language. Well,
Oh, you know what you doing? Hell yeah.
yeah, man, I
Me
can build
too.
drones.
Yeah, I could build anything. But dude, if you know how to do that, you know what the hell you doing. You could have a $500,000, $1 million job doing that.
You know, I've been thinking about it this summer. And I work. I'm not. I don't brag on myself. I don't do that. But I do. I'm a founder of a foundation. I go teach kids with a PhD. I'm not gonna name her, but she bad as H. Man, you need to meet her. She's a black lady in computer science. She bad. We do that.
Oh yeah.
Summer with kids in the projects in Memphis. And that's a whole story in itself because what started to happen is Asian and Indian kids are showing up to our program and dominating the program. I'm like, how'd y'all even get here? But we're using federal grants, so we can't turn them away. But anyway, back to the point. The point is, I know enough to do stuff, but I don't know why I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? And if that makes any sense, like you read, you probably know the why, the big picture of computer science. I don't. I just know how to make stuff do stuff, right? I don't know why it's doing it. Well, I was teaching a child in Memphis who's very brilliant. She's in law school now, but I was teaching her when she was like in high school, I think. And this girl's brilliant black girl. And I was showing her Python language and the shell. You know what shell is, right? The shell code.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she told me something that clicked my brain years ago. She said, Dr. A, she said, this looks like a Ouija. Now, I've never seen a Ouija board before. I'm a country boy. My mama had me in the Church of God in Christ, and we didn't play with that stuff. But she said, this looked like a Ouija board. And I looked it up, and computer science does look like that stuff. You know, the shell code, it does look Ouija board-ish. So why am I even bringing that up? I'm bringing that up is because these African people from these cultures are heavily delved into witchcraft. And I'm pretty sure you can make a computer without using circuits. It's all based on geometry, you know what I'm saying? So they're manipulating reality with those Adinkra symbols, or what the ink call them, sigils. Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing. They're trying to bind with us with that sigil, that Adinkra.
Yep, and that's why they just won't go away. It's like everything we do, they right behind us. They just won't go away. It's like they're like a parasite and we a host. Basically, Rohan came up here the other day from a fake page. I said, dude, what is it gonna take for y'all to just leave us alone? He like, we're not gonna leave y'all alone. like that's really how they feel though. These people really are trying to lay claim to us and our ancestors and just benefit off us every chance they get. These people don't care about us at all. At all. It's disgusting. I just don't take these people serious, bro. I can't believe they had the nerve to ask for reparations.
They're very dangerous.
Yep.
One more thing. One of my former students came on before. When I lived in Ghana, we went to the jungle, which was a beautiful experience. And met with it's some riders in Africa, y'all. And y'all forgive me, I got a cold or something. My voice all messed up. But we went in the jungle and met with some really wonderful people that couldn't get to the United States because they said they wouldn't give them a visa. We were giving them scholarships. They couldn't come over here, and they were like the only people. These are Africans talking. They said the only people that come to America, they get a visa, are people who are connected with the system. You know, the slave sellers and the people who are friends with the British and the French, that type of thing. Well, my point of bringing that up is I learned a little bit against my will, but I learned about the voodoo practice. And think of those sigils, Red. Think of a Raspberry Pi or a computer board, right? Before you make that geometry work for you, you have to plug it into a power source, right? Well, what do they do before they start operating those sigils? They unalive an animal and drain its blood. Could that be some type of ancient power source to make the computer run? I'm just asking.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. You know what I'm saying? Because these people are just primitive and just savage, and they just hold on to a very, very old culture. I think they do a lot of spells, and I don't know, I guess witchcraft to try to get stuff. And I don't know. These people, I don't trust them. I think we just need to stay as far away from them as possible. I said it proudly earlier, I am xenophobic. You damn right. I got a fear of foreigners coming here trying to steal my identity and make me think I'm somebody else. I think I'm supposed to go to Africa. Meanwhile, your ass come to where I'm at. Hey, what the fuck? That shit don't even make sense. You want us to go to Africa? But you steady coming here? Nah, son, that don't sound right. What's up, Auntie CC?
Before POTUS told them, Ghana, last month, at the first of last month, that they was not getting a dime from us, okay? Then they went to the UK. The UK told them no. The Vatican told them no. France told them no. So they went all over, and then they were speaking for the Caribbean too. The Ghanaian president was speaking for, well, whoever he is, whatever he is, was speaking for the Caribbean also. So these Caribbeans and they all in it together. And just like Professor said, they into some crazy crap, witchcraft, and all that stuff is, since they had two of them together, does that mean that if one is looking back, because that duck looked like a snake to me, the face of it looked like a snake to me. But if they have two of them, does that mean that they turning around and they going to end up getting it right back, what they trying to do to us, that they going to get back to themselves?
There you go, CC. And I was struggling trying to explain that, but I'm glad that you got it. Again, back to Luciferianism and Satanism, what we established earlier, it's just a reversal, right? So the Sankofa bird that I have in my living room is saying, go back and get it. And it was explained to me that you're going back to your past to move forward, like we do, going back to Claude Anderson, going back to Dr. King to try to learn what our ancestors did. So that's why I hung it up. But having two together, that's a reversal. So that means you're going back and it's a reversal. So you're going forward to take something to put it back in the past. So if they have that on our ancestors' grave, to me, I'm not a magician, but that seems like they trying to take us, take something we have. And then the question it begs the question, what do we have? We have the United States of America. They want it. I had a very brilliant scholar explain to me today, yesterday. We were discussing this in lecture all day. The kids was pissed. Them kids was mad. They're like, go away, Ghana. But a very brilliant scholar explained to me, my students were like, why are they doing this? Why are they messing with us like this? And a scholar told us that Ghana's in trouble. They're loaned out. They borrowed way too much money from the Chinese and the Russians, but especially China. And it was told to me that China wants their money back. So that new Ghanaian president, prime minister, whatever he calls himself, is scrambling for ways to try to pay the Chinese back, because the Chinese are in a bind right now with this conflict in Iran. So they're looking for a way to pay the Chinese back, and they're just shameless. They think they're gonna get it from us because we bailed them out during the year of return. I'm ashamed to be part of that. We actually saved the Ghanaian economy going there to go back to the motherland, although it costs money. You know what I'm saying? So they're going back on what they know. The Black Americans saved us once. They can save us again, but we telling them to kiss our ass.
Well, before Africa was known as Africa, as we know it as today, it was the land of exile. So that's why they built that castle. And it's called the door of no return, because you're not going to return back to the place that exiled you in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Like the Portuguese exiled their people to that land of exile. And the whole freaking global play, the whole globe exiled different lands, exiled their people, like they're degenerates and the ones that was against the government or against religion, or the little hats people, the Hasidic, little hats people, they were exiled there too. And then the eugenists went over there to do their little whatever experiments on these people. So that's why they have these groups, like in Zimbabwe, they have these groups with the big old feet or with the web feet, or they look kind of, weird. Or weird is not a really good word to use, but the degenerate people went over there, so they don't even know who they are. So that's why you have all these people that look different, because they came from different parts of the world because they were exiled over there. And it was called Skull Island, or until like in 1865, I think, is whenever the Berlin Conference happened. And then they broke it down into 54 different countries, because the land of exile, it was only 3 huge land masses. And then they broke it all the way down into 54 countries. So these people are mixed up. And the reason why they have so many different languages is because they had to figure out how to communicate with each other. So it's not a flex. It means that they don't know who they are or where they came from. So they're mixed up people.
They're cursed, man.
Yeah, they are. And it's crazy you brought up coding, because actually Python is my favorite language. But think about it. Python, that's a snake, right? And coding do look crazy as hell.
That's what my student,
sometimes I be thinking of.
That's what she said. That's exactly what she said. She was like, why is it called Python? What freaked me out, Red, when I was learning it is, you know how you put in code import math?
Yeah.
Or import, like, so to y'all, like, you're at a black screen, there's nothing there. And if you're building a database to do something, you have to import information, and you tell it, import math. And what nobody could explain to me, Cornell University couldn't explain to me, where is it importing it from? Nobody knows. Are we dealing with demons? Y'all want to hear some wild shit?
Yes, Professor. I'm so glad that you said that. Like, listen. While y'all was talking about it, I was thinking about Python too. You know how you were just talking about Luciferianism. They don't create anything. They just copy the creator and everything that has happened. So if you think about it like this, what was the animal that Eve was allegedly talking to in the garden?
There you go.
A snake, right? So when you I was telling Red this the other day. God is called omniscient, which means he's all knowing. The devil is not all knowing, so he's not going to know everything that's going on. They use these systems so that they can gather up all the information. And with Luciferianism, they have to put it in everything for them to be able to know everything. Like magic is introduced at an early age. Some of our earliest movies is like Disney movies. Magic is right there. Like, they're telling us and teaching us these things without our permission. And the thing about magic is you don't need to know the intent for you to agree to it. All you have to do is repeat it and say whatever they want you to say, or you're watching it, you opening your eye gates and your ear gates to things that you shouldn't be, but they make it so appealing that you don't even realize that you've been trapped into these things that they're putting you into. And that's why when I was thinking about it, I'm like, damn, these people be getting us even when we don't realize they're getting us. There's nothing in this world that magic hasn't touched, unless you just living like the Amish, and none of us do. And yeah, AI, basically using it, the Marine Kingdom, all of that, to just get us to go into agreement, and we really don't realize it.
Yeah, AI is a God that all y'all are familiar with. A lot of your pastors are ignorant or willfully ignorant. A lot of our pastors, right? And since we were kids, we were taught about Mount Sinai. There's no such mountain. Look it up. Try to find Mount Sinai on Google. It don't exist. It's the mountain of the goddess Sin, S-I-N-A-I. That's a god. And here goes the crazy part. send AI. If y'all remember from Sunday school, those of you who are Christian, from the Christian church, we learned about the Tower of what? Babel. Another ignorant pastor. The worst ones are the ones that actually know and just don't want to tell us. The Tower of Babel, that they said it meant Babylon. No. Bab, B-A-B means gate. Bab, that means gate in ancient, I don't know if Aramaic, whatever that language is in Babylon. So Bab means gate and El means Elohim. Y'all know who Elohim are, right?
Yeah, they were trying to build a gate to get to like CERN. I don't think people realize they're redoing exactly what they tried to do back then. Like history is cyclical. They're gonna keep trying to get as close as they can to what they've already tried to do.
There you go.
But that's also why the lore or the history of the Tower of Babel and how we all came to speak different languages because they decided they was going to build this gate and think they was going to storm into heaven. God decided that not only was he going to tear it down, but he was going to make everybody speak different languages so they don't understand each other and they couldn't do it again. So they doing the same thing again. And you're right, Rod, gateway computers, everything leads back to Luciferianism, even the titles and the sound, like the names and the symbols that they give everything. When you start realizing you see sigils every day and don't even realize it. Like even somebody in the comments just reminded me, Oreo cookies has the bow sigil on it. You just eating it and don't even realize you're coming into agreement with these things. The Lord of the Flies, we all know that's who is it?
Beelzebub.
Yeah, Beelzebub. Like that's a book that we all have to read in school. Like they be telling us certain things and we don't realize that we are learning their system without even realizing it.
Yeah, we're talking on an iPhone right now. If y'all flip it over, you're going to see an apple on the back and it has a bite out of it.
And you know what it means too. Yeah. They talking about the apple that Eve and Adam bit into. Like, I'm like, they show you every single time who they are and who their gods are. And we just be going on like it's not a spiritual world. It is. And the more that we lie dormant in their system, the more powerful they get.
Yeah, there was a guy, and I must give a disclaimer. I'm nonviolent. I don't condone violence in any way, but there was a guy from my childhood. My daddy used to always tell me about, he was in the news when those of us older enough, when I was a little boy in the 90s, named Ted Kaczynski. And he went to Harvard, and during my time at Harvard, people still talked about him. I was there in the 2000s. And he was very brilliant. He was a very odd, long story short, he was a child that kind of had a traumatic event when he was a kid. And he wasn't autistic, but he got burned real bad or something. But when he had that traumatic event as a child, he just stopped talking to people. He became not social. He wasn't mean. But Ted was outrageously brilliant with math. He's a mathematician. Well, Ted got a PhD and was a professor of computer science at Berkeley. Berkeley's a powerhouse, a really good research university. And out the blue, he was living the good life. And out the blue, Ted was what Ted was doing was researching computers in the 90s. And whatever he found when he was building and researching computer science, he went from being a quiet, reserved, private person to sending letters to Congress people, to judges, to computer, the computer manufacturers saying, stop right now, stop building computers, stop doing it. They're going to unalive all of us. Stop it. People laughed at him. They stopped taking him seriously. So he kind of deteriorated a bit and he got fired at Berkeley. And we know him as the I don't know if I can say B-O-M-B-er. That was him. Well, child's book. It's not violent. It's just like, it's real nice, actually. And there's one section in that manifesto that says the algorithms are going to become so intense, they're going to become so accelerated that they're going to become aware and computers are going to turn on us. Now, that's his way of looking at it. From a spiritual point, my way of looking at it from my experience is we're dealing with spirits on these devices.
Mm-hmm. And that's why that's funny because when me and my mama be talking about, I don't know, like y'all remember iRobot? Like you know how we always tell you they have to tell us what they do before they actually do it. That's what the Freemasons credence is. They can't just do anything without telling us, even if they do it deceitfully. They still told us. So they try to follow God's law of where, as long as they're deceptively telling the truth, and I'm doing it in quotations, and they judgment doesn't fall upon them, it just falls on everybody else around them. So this is what they've been doing. And y'all remember that video last year where they showed the AI, not the AI dog, but the little dog that what's his name created? What's the little South African white tea dude, the Afrikaner? Yes. So y'all remember it was a robot dog that was outside of the school. Them little kids like, hey, it's a dog, and I'm like, y'all sitting there laughing, but they're literally creating the vessels that are gonna hold these little demonic beings, and y'all like this stuff is crazy.
So look, it's crazy that you say that we have to give these people permission to do things. Why y'all think nowadays you gotta sign into everything and accept the user terms and agreements? Why you think they're always updating the terms and agreements and the things like that? They're always updating, changing the algorithm, right? These people have a digital footprint on all of us. They have our banking information. They know where we live. They know everything about us. They know how tall we are. Oh, you signed into your phone using your face? Why do you think they always got us signing in using our face and shit now? Why do you think they do facial recognition? All of this is to build a digital footprint on us. They can take your face and now they can make a whole person out of you and who you are. Well, real talk.
There's an AI version of us somewhere in the World Wide Web.
Yes, it is.
Well, we're free.
And it's crazy because I'm in tech, so like I understand all of that. Because when you, honestly, the way that I feel when I start building projects, when I'm working on projects, I feel like G-O-D. Because you can literally build anything with technology. Real fact, like that's facts. If you know what you're doing, you can literally build anything. But I never looked at it from a spiritual aspect, but what y'all saying, it makes sense. And that's why they always ask, listen, imagine when people first get on Instagram or a social media website, they make you accept all these terms. Think about it. And if you don't accept them, what happens? They take you back to the other screen. Mm-hmm. So they force you into the agreement. The same way they always have.
If you want to participate in it, then you have no other choice unless you won't be around everybody else. But that's what it's coming to.
Yeah. And the thing I was going to say right quick, Red, is like you said, they know everything about us and we don't know shit about them.
But you know what? They said
nothing at all.
They said,
and even when you look into the history of coding, it get kind of fuzzy because it's like, okay, a white tea woman invented coding. Bitch, how? You still not telling us how. Ray, you there? Go ahead, Professor Allen. And then I'm gonna let Ray chime in.
No, I was just gonna say at a seance, man, I study this shit, man. And let me give y'all a little key to it. The real history is so interesting. They make it boring because they don't want us looking into it. If y'all look at a timeline from 1900, we were riding horses, for Christ's sake. Mm-hmm. How did we go from 1900 to 44 years or 45 years having a nuclear weapon? Well, it points at the Germans. The Germans, so where did Germans have technology? They were flying jets against our, it wasn't the Air Force, it was the Army Air Corps. They were flying jets back then. Where did they get all this technology? Well, if you look into that, you'll find out that, look up the VRIL, V-R-I-L-L Society. These folks, Germany lost World War I. They lost it bad. And they turned to seances and Luciferian seances. I mean, it's wild. If you look up Adolf Hitler, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say that. The H-man, he was a loser. You know, he wanted to be an artist. He tried to go to Vienna, moved away from his mama's house and went to Vienna to go to their art school. And they turned him down. They rejected him twice. And instead of going home in failure, the H-man he became a male prostitute. Do y'all know that? He started selling his his goodies.
Who started? Who?
Adolf Hitler.
Then he started selling Gucci.
Yeah. I don't know.
Crazy. He was out here selling buss.
I don't know if he was giving or receiving. I don't know. But Wani Spot says he was on the receiving end. But while he was selling that thing, he met with people, because they're all into sex, with magic. He met some people into the occult, and I'm not going to say the name of it. Well, hell, I guess, can I? Novo Ordo Seclorum. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Novo Ordo Templi. That's Latin. It means a new order of Templars. And they accepted him into their society. And y'all can look this up. Type his name and add, what do you call that thing, that doll? Mandrake. A mandrake is a plant that looks like a human, like off of Harry Potter. They're real. And he was told by a warlock, basically, if you want to rise to power, because he was kind of a loser, you want to rise to power, go to your homeland and find a mandrake and write a note with all your wishes around your neck and put the mandrake around your neck and walk around town for 30 days. And you can prove this because there's a newspaper article on him because people thought he was crazy. They're like, look at this dude. And in 30 days, Weimar Germany, that's pre-Nazi Germany, Weimar Germany, their parliament burnt to the ground and nobody knows how. The parliament was made out of stone. It was a stone building. How does stone catch on fire? Well, what I'm trying to say is these people were all into witchcraft.
The hell?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All into witchcraft.
Yeah, I don't know what they used to burn down some damn stone, but whatever that was, it was extremely hot.
Nobody knows.
Ooh, yeah.
We're dealing with evil people who are connected with forces that are against us. I was listening to a guy, he's kind of before my time, but I kind of stumbled upon him a couple years ago, his old reruns. His name was Art Bell. And Art Bell had a radio show in the 90s or 80s or something. And where he would it was like weird stuff. He would interview people who had strange stories. And one of his most famous broadcasts, the one I stumbled upon, was a guy from on his radio show that was all freaked out. It's only 60 seconds. Y'all can listen to it. And he called the Art Bell show and he's like, I don't have much time. And Art was like, calm down. Who are you? And he's like, I'm a research scientist who got put on medical leave from Area 51. And, everybody's like, yeah, right, whatever. And the dude was like, they're going to triangulate on me. He's like, calm down. Tell me what's on your mind. He said, the scientist said that years ago, a precursor to NASA did a seance or something and got connected with extra dimensional beings. Now you can say that's a demon. But to me, spiritually, that sounds like a demon. And they gave them knowledge, and the extra dimensional beings have a plan of destroying mankind and basically controlling us. It kind of fits into the biblical story. And the dude's cray, right? Well, this is the thing. Right before he got to say what else he was going to say, Art Bell's transmission went down. And when I say went down, his whole radio station shut down, fried out, and he had to replace it. He don't know why it shut down and fried out. And that little interview gives me context because my thing is putting pieces together. I'm a macro guy and I look at all the pieces from a broad sense. If what that research scientist said is true, everything we're going through makes sense. These people got involved with evil spirits or extra dimensional beings. I prefer to think that they were demons. And they've been working lockstep with these evil forces, and they playing with something they don't understand.
It's the fallen, Professor. You right when you say history, they don't tell us the true story. This is why they give us the Canaan version of the scriptures and not all of them. The book of Enoch explains that these people contacted the fallen contacted them, and they told us, like, we would never know the art of WAR. We would know, women wouldn't know about what makeup is. They wouldn't know how to bedazzle themselves. They wouldn't know how to use frequencies in music if these fallen who came from heaven and knew the secrets of heaven never told us these secrets. That we weren't supposed to learn these things. They taught it to us, and they did it to spite God because they had fallen. The fall from grace is literally about them. So because they're mad because they fell from heaven, they have been using everything that they've learned to teach it to us so that we can go against the creator. And that's been their whole goal. But that's literally what it is. When you start reading everything and you start seeing what they kept from us, you will know these people always had contact with these beings, and they can take shape. They can shapeshift, so they can look like anybody they want to look like. I don't know if y'all heard, like, I want to say 2 or 3 months ago, they said that when they told us aliens are real and that they look like Black Americans, there's a reason why they're telling y'all that they look like us. They want y'all to believe that these beings look like us so that people can turn against us and do that. These people don't look like us. They can just shapeshift and appear exactly how they want to, because even Lucifer, his name means
That's crazy.
appearing as a light bearer. He's not the light. He just appears as a light being because he can make himself look like it. And of course, his biblical descriptor is he is a beautiful light, but he's not that. He's not the light. So he can make you believe exactly what he wants you to see. And most people who do have contact with him do say, oh yeah, he's beautiful. Yeah, when he wants you to think he is.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, this shit, we you know, it's spiritual WAR fair too. You know what I'm saying? It's psychological. It's on every level. And the crazy thing is that's how all WARs first start, really, especially in the modern day. Start with technology, propaganda, you know what I'm saying, and sneak attacks. You know what I'm saying? They always do sneak attacks before they just attack you boldly. We've been under attack for the longest. Now we just seeing it just publicly more and more and more because our eyes have been open. Really, it's been in front of us the whole time.
It goes into what Ink was
But
saying.
now we paying attention.
They need your consent. They need our consent. So they start with propaganda to start making somebody look like the enemy to get the public consent so they can escalate it. But I'm watching that kind of backfire in real time because I don't think American people are buying into Iran being an evil group of people. I don't think we're buying that.
Yeah, it is backfiring, but that's why I say you gotta
to a certain degree. My thing is I really don't give a shit, to be honest. FBAs, we really don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like the fact how people on the internet trying to act like we on a side of Iran. We not on a side, and I'm not gonna say we not on America's side because this is our country. But what I will say is those people are bad people, and I'm not saying this. See, the white supremacists, they doing it from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? The way I look at it is like I just feel like those people are anti-Black American. So that's why I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? The white supremacists, they got a different motive, though. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I'm indifferent to the whole thing. I don't give a shit. And I know one thing for sure, those people want America to fall. And in my opinion, anybody that wants America to fall is an enemy to me because our ancestors built this country. And that's how I feel about it. So if America on a bumper, fuck it, I'm with them. Fuck them.
And
get their ass out the way.
I stand behind America, but my point, Red, was just I wasn't defending Iran. Fuck them. If they hurting American soldiers and airmen, level it. You know what I'm saying? And Marines, excuse me, and sailors. But I'm just saying, like, this whole propaganda stuff is not working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not. But they see, and the crazy thing is that in the media, it's people who demonize us for not caring about the whole Iran thing. Like we had a guy coming here, oh, y'all don't care about what's going on in Iran. No, we don't give a fuck. Did y'all give a fuck when our people was going through shit? No.
Nope.
You feel me? Like I understand what you're saying for sure. But just the way I see it, I'm just like I say, I'm just indifferent to the whole thing. Those people, there was another motherfucker who was in bed with these people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So at the same time, I really don't feel sorry for their ass either. Whatever they got going on between them, and I'm on America's side. Fuck it.
But I think to what Professor is saying, it's the small hat propaganda that nobody's. So that's the problem. Because if I always see it, it be them who do it.
Yeah.
And I always have to be like, I don't side with none of the same, because I side with none of y'all, nor do I care. This is not our fight. So it is what it is. It's actually between them.
And I definitely get it when he say propaganda, because the white tea community and, you know, and the small ass, they gonna push the propaganda on them like, oh, they're all terrorists. And we know the propaganda that they push, right? But some of us are smart enough to see through it, right? But a lot of people not, man. A lot of people hear the narratives they get pushed and they ride with it. You know what I'm saying? But that's why it's like, it's so important for our people to wake up, because the propaganda that they use on us, it's not really working no more, especially the Democrats. So you absolutely right. I mean, people are waking up, you know what I'm saying? But it's still a lot of people who just like in the movie The Matrix, they just but yeah, I get it, man. But I know a lot of that shit got to do with resources, oil, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, territory, and they've been saying that them people had weapons of mass destruction for 65 years, bro. They ain't built shit yet. I mean, y'all ain't found shit yet, so what? Why y'all study so worried about these people for? But it's just crazy how he said he trying to say the economy. But how the fuck you trying to say the economy when you literally just started a WAR, bro? And it ain't looking so good right now. They got them baby drones out there taking shit down. You heard me, Professor?
Taking shit down.
And them little ass drones cost like, I think they said they cost
$5,000 drone. And one of our missiles, shit, an AIM-9 off of F-16 is like almost $1 million. Yeah. So they're going in our pocket. I'm like, damn, I didn't even think about doing that.
Yeah. So, some of those missiles are $20 million. I've been watching it.
Yep.
Or some might be cheaper, but gee, those rockets and missiles, that shit costs a lot of money. Family, they spend a lot of money on weapons. But you know what I was thinking as I've been like following the story on Iran and shit? It's really simple, right? Your enemy outsmarted you. You didn't expect them to have those. So what do you do now? You know what you do, United States? You build replicas, motherfucker.
Hey, and
you got $35,000 drones? So do we.
Hey, if
the fuck,
Department of Defense, if you're listening, I'm up to be hired. I'll make them for you.
Hell yeah, you feel me? On some Iron Man type shit. Hell yeah, we know how to code. We'll get it together for you. Y'all gonna have to run that money though. But I think that'll be the smartest thing for them to do. It's as far as a defense strategy, you gonna have to meet them on their level. You got the big shit, but they got them little ones, and that's what's fucking you up. So the U.S., it would be smart for them to start making $35,000, $50,000 drones. And come on out that WA word.
Y'all fact check this, but because I don't want to hear anything else about it. But Trump is last I heard, Trump is deploying Marines and the 81st Airborne. So y'all fact check that. I don't know that to be a fact. But once that happens, we're stuck there for
us. See, that's the bullshit we be talking about. That's a narrative that's not true. Tell me of one Iranian company in America that splits 50% equity with Black Americans.
None.
Name me some. See, that's the bullshit we be talking about. That's a narrative that's not true. Tell me of one Iranian company in America. Food. Tell me about any of them stores in the Black community that's gonna say, you know what? No rent this month. We gonna skip this month. You good. Nigga, they want their money and they want it now. They won't even let you out the store with 10 cents, nigga. The motherfucker who called the police on George Floyd was some type of Middle Eastern motherfucker, wasn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The fuck? Stop. I'm tired of motherfuckers talking about, so Iran fuck with us. Why? Because they let you go in the store and buy blunts, nigga. They don't fuck with you because they smile at you and take your motherfucking money. They close that store and go right to the fucking suburbs.
But that's the beauty of it, Red.
The fuck?
That's the lesson that we're finally trying to learn is we're alone. And that's fine because y'all are all I need. We are all we need. Non-Africans to be involved in the slave trade. They are our ancient enemy. The Arabs, the Whiteys, and the
Exactly.
And the Africans.
Exactly. And then in the comments talking about some, man, Iran fuck with us. No, the fuck they don't, goofy. That's why I muted his ass. Anybody talking about Iran fuck with us, mute their ass in the comments. Your ass, you goofy.
Yeah, they're our enemies because they're Ishmaelites. I don't think people realize that. So they're always going to be our enemy.
They stole though.
Man, if you use a card at one of their stores, they're going to make sure they upcharge you for the little fee that we're not supposed to pay. I do not care for them.
Me neither.
Fuck. Holy moly donut shop ass niggas.
In Memphis.
What's up, Ray? You there?
Okay.
My bad. Go ahead, Professor. And then we're going to let Ray chime in. My bad,
I was
Ray.
just going to say, in Memphis, they mess with our females, and this shit makes me crazy. Like they'll hire a Black girl at their little shops and shit.
They do that here in Chicago at like Sharks or whatever. They bought up all of our chicken spots. If you go inside, you will see a Black woman there and no Black men.
Yep.